The world is full of strange events and stories that don't add up. Welcome to the channel. It's me, Vandal. If you're seeing this, maybe you were meant to. Make sure you like the video so people can see what's hidden. Sub if you question everything. Let's get to the videos.
Possible.
Maybe he's camouflaging as the
yeah, maybe
pallet.
he is the wood pallet.
Yeah.
You never know. And then here's this weird tractor.
The train.
What is that? Yo, yo, yo! Where'd he go? Where the f he just go?
People.
Oh my god! What is that ring? That's crazy. I can't tell what that is.
There's a man underneath his car. That's my car. That's someone's car. And he is crawled up under there. And he's just watching me. See him moving on his belly?
Oh my god. That's a big... Oh, you...
I ain't never watched Animal Planet. This is a paralysis turtle. So if you're from Texas or Louisiana, like a swampy area, you'll know the difference. Like, this is not a snapping turtle. It's not deadly, but it's definitely going to leave you looking like that. You'll be able to tell the difference if you look at the square pattern on their back. And now you know.
No way a turtle can do that unless we just got an update for the animal kingdom.
A lot of you think this is just a fashion show. It is not. This is a ritual happening right before your eyes. These beings, they do exist with the face. This is not a fashion show, y'all. All rituals. Telling y'all.
Oh, exciting. They're coming out flat out saying that entities are coming out of the portals there and then going back in and coming out and staying here and not going back in. So it's so fun. I wonder if this has anything to do with all the videos of all this.
If they're not coming back, maybe they found something better on the other side. Maybe they were never meant to return in the first place.
As you can see, this is a regular picture of a cloud I took. And then I decided to dissect the photo myself to see what was beyond. And this is what I see, codes. This was so freaky, wild, unique, extraordinary, confusing, because they're supposed to be clouds. So what is this? Like, look at that. That looks... I don't even know what that is.
Wait, hold on, because I'm seeing videos of this too, and then people have been commenting it. Apparently, like a couple of days ago or whenever it happened on some military base, like everyone's cell phones were taken over. Like everyone's cell phones just froze for like 2 minutes, and there was a message on the screen, and apparently the message was from the Anunnaki. And I don't know if it was them coming back, because I have heard, like, I've heard so many things for so long about the Anunnaki coming back, and I don't know if that's legit or not, but has anybody seen this? Like, I'm wondering if this is true or not. I don't know. People are commenting. I'm seeing like some videos, but like I'm not actually seeing the things. So somebody let me know. Is it true?
Mass freeze with a mysterious message. Somebody's testing new tech, or we're getting a preview of what's coming next.
I want y'all to pay attention to Martin, bro. Something ain't right. Something ain't right, bro. There's something off about this. Let's go to the next one. Now y'all see him next to Will. They the same age, bro. Right? I want y'all to look at this. Something ain't right, bro. They both old. Plenty of old people. And I already showed y'all the mask before. We're going to get into that in a minute, bro. Something ain't right, bro. That's not Martin, bro. That ain't Martin right there. Let's get into it. Now, y'all remember this video I did, right? You can see his face look like a full-blown mask, bro. Something ain't right here, bro. That's not Martin Lawrence, man. That's not Martin. Man, that's not Martin that I remember from the Martin Lawrence show. That's not Martin from Life. That's not Martin even from when he put the dress on. That's not Martin Lawrence, bro. That ain't old Marley Marl right there. And y'all can say that he got old, right? And like he's getting old, people get older. Nah, bro, this is happening to too many celebrities and politicians, bro, and you can see it. You can see it.
Face may age, but it's something about that expression that never changes. Like when your phone keep updating, but it keep freezing.
Scientists took DNA from a man's cheek, isolated it, and put it in another room. Then they kept on flashing him images that would provide any form of an emotional charge. And guess what would happen? The DNA would react instantly, with absolutely no delay. And this was also measured on an atomic clock, even when they moved 350 miles away without the dude even knowing that they were still doing the experiment. So if your DNA is responding to emotion, no matter the distance, what does that say about the DNA that you've exchanged with anybody in your life? Romantic relationships or blood relationships, it's all imprints. And no, this isn't about shame, this is about residue. You don't just carry memories, you also carry frequencies. This is quantum entanglement.
Your ex was in line when they said you'll be connected forever. Science just proved it.
I'm starting to wonder if they're letting me do this because they know I'm going to go down this rabbit hole and reach a point where, like, I'm already starting to wonder, like, I'm Cypher in the Matrix. You know what? I kind of just want the stake, plug me back into the Matrix. I don't really think I want to know anymore. I'm not sure I really want to know where this even leads. Because as I was reading this paper and thinking about the implications of retrocausality, I kept coming back to the idea of future humans. If you can send a message to the past, then you should be able to receive information from the future, which means you should be able to tamper with your past, theoretically. And it's pretty scary.
Once you start reading time backwards, that stake starts to look pretty good. Maybe ignorance truly is bliss.
Y'all can trust y'all government if you want to. Not me. They already have robots that can survive off of human organisms. It can survive off of any organism. It's not designed to eat the dead, but it can. What? So like zombies and robots, this is what we doing? Our only advantage was that it could die. You know, the battery could die. If you don't charge it, it's going to die. But now it could just eat and power up as it's chasing me, as it's hunting me down. It could just stop and fuel up real quick. It don't need to sleep. I'm done. Let's just start over. Okay, let's just start over. We need a new Earth. I'm tired of this one.
We built a perfect predator and gave it a charging stomach. What could possibly go wrong with that business model?
Why is nobody talking about the fact that the same man who created the school system bought out the medical industry? This was his name, if you didn't know. Richest man in history, and he did not just build oil empires. He built systems. In 1903, he created the General Education Board. The goal was never to benefit children or educate them. It was created bottom up to teach obedience and to destroy creativity and intuition. Then in 1910, he funded the Flexner Report. This shut down natural medicine schools and labeled herbal homeopathic healing as quackery. Why? Because he invested in petroleum-based pharmaceuticals. He reshaped medicine to sell his drugs and reshaped education to make us obedient enough to take them. You think that was random? That was design. I am building something different. Foundation for children who still hear their intuition. For the parents who never stop trusting theirs. Exciting stuff is coming, so if you want to be here to see it, give me a follow.
He just drilled for oil. He drilled obedience in our mind. Same energy as when the algorithm knows exactly what you want to watch.
You remember that bro that went to Mooley Point and found those unnatural cut blocks in the ground? Those Nephilim blocks? Well, bro went back and found some more stuff. Look at this. Look at that. Y'all still think this is natural. Look at that angle. Look at that angle. You think that's natural? Come on, man. Look how sharp those angles are. You could slice your hand open with that. Look at that angle. 90 degrees. 90 degrees. This is not natural. This is a quarry. This is a Nephilim Titan quarry. Not a Nephilim giant. Because there's Nephilim giants and titans. Look at those blocks, man. Yeah, well, this is the new stuff he found. Look at these. These look like bricks. Or they could be dragon scales. Some people in the other video were saying this is dragon scales. This is a huge petrified, deceased animal. Now, this looks cut to me. This looks cut. I know people are going to say this is natural, but these look like bricks, laid bricks. Doesn't look natural to me. Look how big that is. This is like Now all this stuff up here, this brings suspicion because okay, well this might be natural, but I don't know. Like it's half and half. Some of it looks like it was cut and laid, and some of it looks like it's natural. Now people are talking about dragons, but this part looks like a serpent. Kind of looks like a serpent, and like scales on it too. The point of this video is to get you to open your eyes and question the mainstream, because this looks like some people did this, some giants or people or somebody. Doesn't look natural to me. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Do you think the mainstream is lying about the titans, about the giants? Or is this just a natural formation?
Look at this. We have another incident of someone catching something or someone walking on the clouds. Look at this. This is in Decatur, Alabama. Do you see that? Look at this huge thing that is, I don't know, standing on the cloud, walking on the cloud.
Somebody is walking on the mother freaking cloud. Something is walking on the cloud.
What could that be?
What is that? It's a body. Look. It shows.
Tell me that's not a giant sculpture. Titan. Something. Look at the head and the shoulder. I slowed it down. It looks like you can see an outline. I don't know if it's hooded or something, but it looks like it's watching something over the clouds. Y'all, we already know that the veil is thinning. And these higher dimensional beings, they've always been here. They've always been. And it looks like they're coming back. What this is? They have caught this before in Tampa, Florida, in Michigan, and so many other places, and no one yet has determined what this is. Anybody want to let us know what this is? Nonetheless, the veil is thinning and the matrix is collapsing, and I think they are here for it. Let me know what you guys think about this video.
They got him. They got him. A lot of you in my comments section told me to look up demon hands, and it took me down a whole rabbit hole. What is going on in Hollywood? So of course one of the first pictures that pop up is Doja Cat when she was dressing like a demon for her new album. So I decided to zoom in on the hands, and they literally look identical. These are Khloe Kardashian's hands. So I decided to go through a few more pictures, and it started bringing up witches' hands, which again are pretty much uncanny. Even some of the older films that were popping up reminded me of the picture of Angelina Jolie. But what else was interesting is it started bringing images up of the black-dyed witch's fingertips, which reminded me of this woman, Michelle Lammy, who is seen beside all of these Hollywood celebrities like Usher, Naomi Campbell, Marina, Cardi B, just anybody and everybody. I wonder who she is. She also had this very interesting photo shoot with Kim Kardashian where she taught her to do this. It's almost like they can shapeshift or something. I also found it interesting that I was finding articles talking about witches' marks on their hands. These signs or markings on their hands could be symbols of gifts of intuition, healing abilities, or signs of their spiritual path, in which you can find many celebrities making it a trend now, like Ariana Grande, Hailey Bieber, Miley Cyrus, and she has quite a few. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. You know? You know. They do. Do you? Anyways, I just find that interesting.
If the hands match across different people, maybe the masks aren't even necessary anymore.
You guys better get ready, because in 6 months, when they release AGI like they're saying they're going to do, with no safety protocols, everybody go look this up. Look up AGI safety protocols, if it's even being talked about. There's a lot of people trying to start the conversation, but a lot of people ain't trying to have the conversation. There is a race right now across countries, just like the moon fake thing, but this is AGI robot machines. They are trying to be the first to release them. That's dangerous. Everybody needs to have this conversation to slow the community down so that things can be embedded and regulated first, or they're just going to be wild, let loose. You guys, nobody's just paying attention to it, but the real ones are. The people that are in the field know. The people that are aware of this are talking about it and starting to make more people aware. It's going to take a lot of people being on the same wavelength with this to slow something down like that, until there are things that can properly make it roll out to the public and not just be another world race. Because that wouldn't be good to humanity, would it?
No rules, no breaks. It's mental minds chasing release dates. It's like giving your teenager the car and hoping for the best.
He was cleansing his house from a jinn when this happens. A family gathered together to perform a cleansing ritual in hopes of removing a jinn that haunts their home. They begin the ritual and feel protected by it when something horrifying happens.
شوف هذا مدام هذا مشكلة من نورا.
Like something straight out of a nightmare, the door is blasted off its hinges and comes flying across the room. They believe this was a powerful jinn trying to stop them from doing the ritual.
Y'all ready to have y'all's mind blown, man? August 11th, 1987 HAARP patent. Method and apparatus for altering a region in the Earth's atmosphere, ionosphere. These dates over here, is this the 80s? Huh. Polarized electromagnetic radiation is transmitted upward in a direction substantially parallel to and along a field line which extends through a region of the plasma to be altered. The plasma to be altered. Here's your little figures and whatnot, just basically showing what it is. Look below me. Directed energy weapons. Devices that direct a beam of high energy content toward a target for incapacitating or destroying the target. Well, so this was in the 80s. It's pretty cool patent. So fact checkers, before y'all freak out with the fact check, I literally just read the Google patent. I'm not saying it's anything. I'm not saying nothing. My shirt's on the inside out. I don't really care this morning, man. I just saw it. I thought it was really cool. So I decided to read the patent. There's no underlying context with this or anything, fact checkers.
Filed a weapon as a patent. That's when you went past the conspiracy theory stage.
All right, the video I'm about to show you, I'm just going to let you make up your mind about what it is. Now, ever since I started doing this, the amount of people that live in Florida that have been sending me the most strange and bizarre videos of things that are happening in their front yard, caught on Ring cameras, caught on their phones, overlooked by the ocean. The amount of those videos has become a little bit overwhelming, but I love it all at the same time. Now, I just received one from a lady in Orlando. Now, I will keep everyone anonymous just for their own privacy things. But in this video, when I was watching it, at first I thought I noticed something, which then turned out to be exactly where all of the excitement in the video takes place. Now, I want to know what you all think about this because my intuition kicked in immediately and I felt what I think it is. But I want to know what all of you think it is, and let's have this conversation because this is actually mind-blowing.
Fans are looking at GloRilla kind of sideways after revealing this picture of her wearing what seems like a possessed mask with one eye, and we know what that one eye represents. GloRilla, we own to you. We hope that you ain't cross over to the other side. Fans are questioning it now. They saying, hold on, where are you going with this glow? Do these pictures look kind of suspect to you? Drop it down in the comments because as we have seen before, the dark side often turns some of our good ones. And we hoping that this is not true GloRilla because we love your music and we love to turn up with you. But speaking on myself, if this is the case, I'm going to have to take a step back. As we see this, a lot that's been going on with Hollywood, it's been crumbling to the ground because the Most High has been bringing his people up and moving the enemy out the way. So drop it down in the comments. I want to know what you think. It's your boy AOG King Sot and no glow.
Symbol becomes a message. You already know who's writing the script.
Wasn't Cassini? I understand. Look, Cassini was about $319,000 a day. That.
Oh yeah, yeah. But we found out a lot. We found out a lot from Cassini, and that last plunge into the atmosphere was pretty exciting. We're finding out a lot about the other planets. The other planets are just
why
another
is that
stepping
so
stone.
important when you look at what we've got in our country? Problems with the NHS, problems with this, problems back here on Earth. Tell us why we should invest so heavily in that.
Survival. Survival of the species.
Do you think
no
eventually,
question about it.
You think eventually we'll colonize other planets and we'll leave?
Not in our solar system because there's nothing here that will sustain us. We got to develop the capability to go someplace where there is another Earth, and we know that they're out there. There's no question about that. They are out there, but they're a little ways out. Maybe 3.2 light years is the nearest one. which means we got to build a machine that goes a little faster than the speed of light, and that's going to be the big key.
And do you think there's extraterrestrials out there, Al, as well?
What?
Do you think there's?
You know, I've been asked that question hundreds of times. Do you believe in aliens? And I say, yeah. Have you ever seen one? I say, yeah, I have. Well, how have you seen them? Well, I said, I look in the mirror every morning. Because that's what we are. We are the aliens, but we just
think we're the thing.
We just think they're somebody else, but we're the ones who came from somewhere else. Because somebody else had to survive, and they got in a little spacecraft, and they came here, and they landed, and they started civilization here. That's what I believe. And if you don't believe me, go get books on the ancient Sumerians and see what they had to say.
That's a whole different discussion now.
They'll tell you right up front.
You've just blown that right open.
Yeah.
Sadly, we can't get into that.
It's like we're floating on the dark side of the moon right now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
This is amazing.
I don't want to get too complicated.
It's brilliant. It's so fascinating to hear what you have to say.
Thank you.
Okay, the thing squiggles in through the eye.
Now that man's name is Donald Marshall. How many of you have heard of him before?
There's a spiral around the optic nerve all the way to a certain point, and it's driven there by taste. And they've said once it gets there, it has the taste of butterscotch, and then it does a feeling like holding your breath and going.
Oh look, it's the Pope and Boy George and other people, all with a black eye. Isn't that coincidental?
Since consciousness is gone, the body is absolutely, totally dominated.
So somebody tell me why all of these celebrities, every single person that we've watched or listened to growing up throughout our whole lives, why have they all ended up with black eyes? And it's not just one-time things either. They don't just have a black eye once either, do they? So can somebody just fill me in? What is all the black eyes for? Why did they all have a black eye? Simon Cowell, Robert Downey Jr., Richard Branson, all of these people with a black eye.
The Bruces line up too perfectly to be a coincidence. Like when all the app servers crash at the same time.
Let's talk about one of the creepiest Mexican videos out on the internet right now, the blinking Jesucristo statue. But before I show you the creepy video, let's break it down a little bit. In 2016, in Saltillo, Coahuila, Mexico, someone would record something terrifying at their local church, La Capilla de la Catedral del Saltillo. It would later be uploaded by this user and gain millions and millions of views. And the video went viral. I mean, Primer Impacto actually covered it that same year. And Primer Impacto did a whole investigation. They had like an actual paranormal investigator say that he actually saw the man that recorded the video and saw the video for himself on the phone. And he said that the video was 100% legit. But this is where it gets tricky, because then they had a video analysis look at the video and be like, guys, this is fake. It's filtered. People were so torn up about whether this video was real or fake. I had one of the reporters, Francisco, go and visit the actual church. With all of this in mind, I'm going to show you the video. Here it is. What did you think? I do have to say, there is some weird, creepy aura. I don't know if it's like the weird, like Silent Hill filter. Now, a lot of people that go to this church say that the video is real. It's a miracle. But what do you guys think? Is this real? Is this fake? Is this a miracle? Let me know. Let me know.
Before you decide to have a baby and want to come up with a name, you might want to look at this list, because they just banned certain names you can't have in the US. These are the baby names that are now illegal in the US, as you can see. I don't know who would want to name their baby that, but okay. Even that. And what the fuck is that? Now, the first two names on the list, King and Queen. Why can't I name my son a King, or why can't I name my daughter Queen? Am I missing something? So according to the courts, they said those names are too powerful are too religious or just a title rather than a name. But that's my child. I should be able to name my child whatever I want to name my child, right or wrong. I feel like them trying to ban names is just the beginning. Trying to tell people what they can and cannot do. Like, they trying to take away all the power. Just starting with the names, y'all. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this down below in the comments. This shit crazy, fool.
Can't name your child power because they might grow into it. Same reason why they don't want us thinking too much about certain things.
Okay, let's see how long before this gets taken down, but hold up a damn minute. I just saw this girl's post that said, it's glitter, y'all, it's glitter. And I'm like, well, what's glitter? And I was reading the comments, and they're like, you know, the stuff in the sky that's being sprayed, since if you look at it in the sunlight, it sparkles. And I guess they ran a test on it and said it's glitter. And then another comment said that the glitter is smart dust, so that they can track us. And then another comment said, yeah, the glitter is made from people. And I'm like, hold up a damn minute, because I also learned that the way you make diamonds is by compressing carbon. That's how you make diamonds, is by compressing carbon. And people are carbon-based. Human beings, we're carbon-based. If you compress us, you can make us into diamonds, because they both glitter and diamonds both refract and reflect sunlight. It's like a prism. And then what's weird about that is that I said to my parents like a week ago, randomly just came out of my mouth, I said, I bet that's where all the dead bodies are going. Is that, you know, when you cremate someone and you spray it like dust in the wind, I bet they're just spraying them in all the cloud seeding. I bet that's how they get rid of the human bodies and the people, besides the food and everything else we know about that. But like, holy crap.
It's really weird to think, but English, right? Like we speak English, that's all we know. Our thoughts are our thoughts are English, feel me? Yeah. I'm gonna sound crazy, but like if you really deep it, listen, this is a real scientific study. Yeah. That if you learn Latin, or I think Italian because it's close to Latin, and you think in it, your brain, it moves on a different frequency than everybody else, and you're actually considered smarter.
What?
Yeah.
So if you know Latin, you're smarter.
Yeah, it's because your brain chemistry, it works differently. And that's just the way you think. That's because if you think about it, we understand ourselves in English. Now, here's the craziest part. Ready?
Yeah.
What if
we just randomly start speaking?
No, English. Oh, this sounds fucking crazy though. I'm gonna sound like a nut.
When you do this, I already know
I'm gonna sound like a nut, but if you think about it, like, whose choice was it to make it English?
Whose choice?
I don't know.
Like that, right?
Yeah,
like,
no,
think
we
about
don't
that
know.
shit.
Think about that. Like, who decided, okay, we're all speaking English?
Yeah, I actually don't know.
And it became like the language. This is the way I think it. What if speaking in English holds us back with our mind?
What do you mean?
I know it sounds weird to say. It sounds fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But think about it like this, right? Because you know how they say if you're really deep in prayer, you speak in tongues.
Oh yeah, Latin.
And then when you do that, you're on what? You're on a higher frequency.
Yeah,
Feel me? Now, what if speaking and understanding everything in English is holding us back spiritually?
Spiritually. Okay, so we can't go to like the next dimension type shit.
Your TV, but with this hack, your TV can watch you. Show us how that works.
So one of the things that we were able to do with the Smart TV platform was actually abuse the browser to the extent that we could actually gain access to the camera that's built into the TV.
Right.
And so what we can prove here is that with a little bit of extra code, we can turn the camera on in your browser.
Wow.
And while this is evident to you right here because we've designed it that way, this is something that we can do invisibly and actually have the camera running behind the web page that you're looking at.
So what this means is I could be sitting here watching TV from my bedroom, and you could be anywhere in the world looking at this image of me watching.
Yep, I could be sitting on a laptop in a cafe in Paris, and as long as I have a network connection, I'd be able to get into your TV and access the camera.
The kind of scary things about it is that it doesn't actually give any indication that the camera's on, and there's no little LED that shows up when the camera's on. So it could actually be watching you and you'd never even know.
What is a smart TV, and why is it a playground essentially for hackers?
Right. It's a computer. So instead of just being, a tube and some other electronics, now it has a web browser and it has, a lot of devices are running Linux.
But the real danger is when people start using smart TVs for things like online banking we can take a popular bank address and translate that into a different IP address to a site that directs to a site that we control. So it may look like your bank's login, but you're actually entering a username and password that goes to us instead of your bank.
In a statement to CNN Money, Samsung says it takes consumer privacy very seriously. The camera can be turned into the bezel of the TV so that the lens is covered or disabled by pushing the camera inside the bezel. The TV owner can also unplug the TV from the home network when the smart TV features are not in use. As an added precaution, we also recommend that customers use encrypted wireless access points when using connected
Your
devices.
entertainment center been watching you this whole time. It's like having a nosy neighbor who never leaves.
No, because how come not one individual is taking on initiative to call out the very obvious hired and paid actors that are popping up on our FYPs to make us think that they're normal people like us?
Because it's been going on since social media was created. It goes all the way back to MySpace. It goes all the way back to V-bulletin boards and app channels and everything like that. Because this manipulation that we've all been experiencing has been happening our entire adult lives. This is something that we can trace all the way back to manufacturing consent. And when Republicans saw what happened with Obama, and I'm not blaming Obama on this, it's just kind of give it some more context here. It goes all the way back to Obama's success on the internet and the success of viral viral chain letters, email chain letters that created and manipulated opinion. It all goes back to this and the success that everybody saw with that. And we see it. We see it all the time. Most of the internet is fake and has been fake most of our lives. And it's something that we all need to understand because it makes everything make a lot more sense. And I'm glad more people are talking about this, but I wish they would have talking about it 10 years ago. We need this to be more common knowledge in order for us to be able to fight against it and be able to prevent ourselves from becoming manipulated as a result. So great, good on you. Good on you for creating that video. I want more people to do it. We need to talk about how easy it is to manipulate others just by constantly talking about a thing and constantly posting about a thing, constantly commenting about it, and all the other stuff in order to manufacture consent. And that is what we're seeing everybody, every political actor with any sense do. And that's why you don't see it much from Democrats, because they don't have sense.
And I don't know how to explain this, but I caught something real weird when I was watching this person's video that's behind me right now. She might be mad when she see this, she might be upset when she see this, but I'm not trying to make fun of anybody. I'm not doing anything like that. You know what I'm saying? This is just something that I noticed when she went from her rear camera back to her front camera. This is her right here. She was at work doing a video talking about what she noticed the customer doing in the parking lot. And as she was showing what he did in the parking lot, she went from her rear camera back to her front camera. You know what I'm saying? And I seen something that threw me off a little bit. Now, as you can see, beautiful, beautiful. She's fine. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, this ain't making fun of nobody or nothing, but I wondered, did she pick up on this or did she catch this? This is what I'm talking about. This is what her face did when she went from her back camera up to her front camera. Like, that's kind of spooky, right? What caught me was how geometrical her eyes is, and then it made her face look so smooth and like featureless, and it just looks kind of demonic. Not saying that she is demonic, but I'm saying that's crazy. Y'all can't say that ain't crazy. But if you see this video, you know who you are, and let me know if you caught that when you shot that video, or did you see it when you went back and watched that video? Cause that's a crazy looking picture right there. That's just a still shot. I ain't gonna show the video or I wanna expose her name, but I don't know. I ain't saying nothing else. This is crazy. What y'all think? Let me know. Love y'all. Peace!
When your selfie blinks wrong, maybe the problem isn't the camera. Maybe it's what the camera's actually seeing.
So I want y'all to take a look at this. Look at this in the sky right here. It is June 9th, June 8th, and I'm looking at this thing next to the moon. And what does that look like? It is either a planet or a UFO. It is very hard to tell. Look at that. Right there next to the moon. Y'all think I'm tripping? All right, check this out. Check this out. I'm going to zoom in. I'm zooming in. And what is that? It is now dead center in the moon. Straighten out. Straighten out. Looks like a hole or something. Yo! Yo! That's crazy. Look at this. That's definitely something.
Moons in the sky. Either we're getting company or somebody is testing out observation skills.
So Kelly Osbourne, Lindsay Lohan, Kris Jenner, they're all going to the same doctor. This is Kelly Osbourne. This is Kelly Osbourne. This is what Kelly Osbourne used to look like. This is what Kelly Osbourne would look like if she didn't do a bunch of surgeries on her face or perhaps duplicate or replicate herself. But this is what Kelly Osbourne supposedly looks like. This is Lindsay Lohan. This is Lindsay Lohan after everything that she's been through. Right, all of a sudden she's looking like this. Yeah, we're supposed to believe it. This is Kris Jenner. This is Kris Jenner. What I find interesting is that they never take time off, like from the cameras, and then they just come out looking brand new with a new face. So she's morphing into Kim. Okay, so she's morphing into Kim. Wait, no, because now she's morphing into Kendall. It's like half the time she's Kim, half the time she's Kendall. Here's Kendall. They have the same face. Oh, but it's her mom. But this was her face in January. This is her face January 1st, New Year's. Okay, this is her face. This is her face 2 months later. The new face. March 24th. Okay, so you're gonna tell me in 2 months she aged backwards. No scarring. No bruising. No cuts. No stitches. No evidence at all. Nothing at all. Wow, that's a miracle recovery. And she got new teeth. As well. They're blinding. They're looking like Ross and Friends. They also look like Miley Cyrus teeth. Now remember when I said that Miley Cyrus was turning into Tish, her mother? I don't know what she's turning into now, but she's looking like an alien. She doesn't look human. This is what Miley looked like for like 2 seconds, and then it's like it went too far. Now her head is such a weird shape. This is not the Miley we grew up with. This is not the Hannah Montana Miley. It's giving alien, soul swap, some weird shit, okay? So I've been talking about this transferring of consciousness, and I believe this is what's happening in Hollywood. I want to stop talking about Hollywood, but I can't stop talking about Hollywood because it's showing us what is going on in this reality, in this dimension, and how none of this is real. So it's giving Hollywood is just full of aliens, okay? Hollywood is full of shape-shifting aliens. And then these people are just transferring their consciousness and they're like going into like duplicating, replicating machines, and they can just shape shift into some other being. I mean, so much changes all the time with these people in such a short amount of time, and no one blinks or bats an eyelash. I mean, nobody found it weird that we didn't see Miley Cyrus for 2 years because she was stuck inside the Chateau Marmont, and now she's everywhere and she looks like a completely different person. The reason that I talk about this stuff is because it helps us realize that reality is not real. I mean, you know what they say, like, you're not ugly, you're just broke. I mean, I'm just saying, if Kelly didn't think that she was unattractive before, then she wouldn't have done all of these surgeries to look the way she looks now. And I understand that it's Hollywood who puts all this pressure to look this way, but it's crazy because they all end up looking the same. Can you tell the difference between this face and this face, they look the same. So all these people in Hollywood are looking the same. So Hollywood is who everybody looks up to, even in all the other countries, right? Everyone's like, oh my God, America, Hollywood, I want to be famous. So all of these Hollywood starlets are out here getting like molded like they're dolls to look perfect. So then young women, girls, or insecure women all over the world are watching these women thinking, I need to look like that. Everybody is saying, who is their surgeon? I need to look like this. Even Kris Jenner at fucking 70 years old gives into that pressure, right? Because that's why she became who she is. She wanted that attention. So the reason that I like to talk about the Hollywood stuff is because it gives us a lot of clues and it breaks a lot down of our matrix and our simulation. And this is a very big thing in our society, is looking and staying young forever. So then they do all this stuff, which we don't even know what they really do. I personally think they're being cloned. And then they come out looking like this. And then people just think that this is normal. Then society is striving to be this, and it's all based on just like looks and nothing foundational. That's why everybody says we need to stop giving these people power. But unfortunately, they still have power. And a lot of people look up to them and want to be like them. And then everybody ends up getting the same freaking face and nobody looks real. So in the end, what is real? Who is real? Is any of this real? Are they all shape-shifting aliens or just transferring their consciousness, cloning each other, cloning themselves, going back and forth? What is actually really happening? I don't know. But it is fun to try to figure it out and see through the bullshit. And it's insane to me how many people don't see it and are still very much asleep and still really believe this stuff. This is insane. But it's also really cool because it's like, wow, our reality is insane and we don't know what's real and what's not. So it's kind of trippy, right? Trying to figure it out. And I love trying to figure out the matrix and decode and find all the little clues and everything. So that's why I like to talk about this. And so I am very connected to Hollywood and I feel like I get these downloads about them and everyone thinks I'm insane, but I'm not crazy, y'all, because now y'all see it. Now y'all see it. Tell me that's not Kendall Jenner's face. I know, it's her daughter. Seriously, that's Kim's face. They're transferring consciousness, they're shape-shifting, they're jumping into each other's bodies, they're soul swapping, they're skin swapping. I don't know what's happening, but it's a wild ride.
Hollywood doesn't age, it updates. Like software patches, but for people.